Today I'm going to talk to you about comprehensible input. But before I do, I'd like to do a demonstration of what it means to be comprehensible when teaching a foreign language.
Hallo liebe Leute, das ist Oscar. Spricht kein Deutsch. Also ich versuche heute Ihnen Deutsch beizubringen. Also Oscar, steh auf. Lieg. Dreh dich um. Oscar, bang. Oh, sehr gut, bang. Das ist so wie bang. Okay, jetzt benutze ich Geste, also meine Hände sprechen. Okay, Oscar, steh auf. Sehr gut, sehr gut. Oscar, lieg. Sehr gut. Oscar, bang. Sehr gut und dreh dich um. Dreh dich um. Oh, sehr gut gemacht.
As you can see from my first demonstration, Oscar did not understand what I was asking. My German was not comprehensible to him at all, other than when I used the word peng, which sounds a lot like the word bang. In this instance, he was able to recognize and comprehend a cognate. Our students also can do this from time to time with cognates. However, teachers should not assume that students understand cognates, as spelling and pronunciation can still make obvious cognates incomprehensible. So what does it mean to be comprehensible? It means that the message is understood by the learner. Even in level 1, when learners have no knowledge of the second language, new information can be made comprehensible by drawings, gestures, and visuals. Learners are able to hear new information and relate to previous knowledge to figure out exactly what the message means. The language is no longer a barrier to understanding, but a new way of looking at something they already know and recognize. For example, my dog Oscar does not need to know the words I used because he clearly understood the gestures in my second demonstration. Because he was able to understand the message, he was able to participate and be actively engaged in instruction. Such a good dog. How do we acquire language? Of course, dogs are not people and they do not acquire language, which is our goal as language teachers. Wen explains the input hypothesis. Krashen has pointed out that humans acquire language in only one way: by understanding messages or by receiving comprehensible input. That is, by receiving input slightly higher than the current language skills of the learner. This is his famous formula of I+1, where I stands for the current level of the learner and 1 refers to the language materials that are slightly higher than the current level of the learners. The comprehensible input that I provided in my demonstration will not lead to output, but it does serve as an example of what we need to do in the classroom to make our languages comprehensible. We must meet learners where they are and provide both supports and challenges to grow their lexicons. As foreign language teachers, we need to shift our thinking from teaching the parts of language to teaching in a way that focuses on understanding the message, so the communication can take place. Krashen explains in his comprehension hypothesis that we acquire language when we understand what we hear or read. Our mastery of the individual components of language, or skills, is the result of getting comprehensible input. This type of learning is not conscious, rather subconscious. Instead of focusing on the parts of language, learners are focusing on the messages delivered in the language. Communication is the goal and is only effective when the information being given is comprehensible. Compelling input. Finally, above all, input should be interesting. It needs to be interesting. Oscar did not simply participate in my instruction because he was free and looking for something to do. No, he wanted the treats in my hand. Krashen affirms the best input is compelling input, extremely interesting content that involves us completely in the message. This is what good stories can do. When we hear or read a compelling story, our sense of self and our sense of time are diminished. Only the story exists. Getting lost in the story is surprisingly the best way to become literate. We can use other stories, we can write our own stories, we can make up stories on the spot with our students. We can ask students for ideas and retell events from their lives or our lives. In any case, we need to fill their heads with language that is delivered in comprehensible messages. We can use drawings, gestures, memes, video clips, comics, or storyboards to support their understanding. But the bottom line is that we must motivate our learners to participate with compelling input to get them to eventually be able to give us the output that we are all looking for. Only quality input will lead to that quality output.